Welcome back, guys. In this video I'm going to explain the analytics section in Tailwind, and the reason why we want to look at the analytics in Tailwind as well as in Pinterest is because in Tailwind we can actually see some statistics that we can't see in Pinterest. So we want to go here to Insights, and I'm just going to go over all these different tabs, and we are now in Profile Performance, and immediately you can see that we can't see much. Normally there's a chart here as well showing us statistics, but because we have the free plan we can't see a lot. So that's one of the reasons why you should have a paid plan. I'm not getting paid to say this. Tailwind is basically the only good Pinterest tool, and you'll see why it's very important to have the paid plan if you're serious about growing your brand on Pinterest. So when we scroll down, we see three different data points which are very important. First, the virality score, which are the repins divided by pins. Then the engagement score, which is the same but also divided by your followers. So how many followers or the percentage of your followers is actually repinning your pins. And then we have the engagement rate, which is basically the percentage of the total pins with at least one repin. So all of these numbers should be high, and if you're getting low numbers on these, it means that the content you're putting out is not interesting for the people on Pinterest or your following. Now, if this one is low and this one is high, it means that your following is actually interested in your pins, but the rest of Pinterest is not. So that's still good, but of course you want to keep all these statistics relatively high. Then here we have boards, insights, and here we can see the same statistics but for each board. So that way you know what board is performing well, and you can turn off or change the other boards. Another thing that you can do here is find similar content that you can pin to your board as well. And that's a great way to get even more engagement onto your boards and more following. Then here we have the pin inspector, and here we can see a couple data points related to the pin, so you can see all the different pins. Of course right now there's no data, but if you have a lot of pins, then here you can filter them by repins, comments, the date it's pinned, and actions. And you can also use the find similar content. So if you have pins here in pin inspector that are getting a lot of repins, then you can find similar content, add them to your board, so that way you can really give your following what they want to see. Then we go to website insights, and here you'll get to see all kinds of statistics related to your website. So the pins, the pinners, so the people that are saving your pins, potential impressions, and here you get to see trending topics. So that are topics that you can use to create more content around. And a great thing here is that you can see what time of the day and what days people are most likely to interact with your pins, with your brand, and then you can basically change your schedule, your pinning schedule, so that way you get the most engagement as possible. Here at top pins, it's very similar as the pin inspector, but as you can see you have a couple different data points, and you get to see what pins are performing best. You can see your own pins, but also pins that you pinned yourself. And here you can see the click-through rate, the save rate, all very important factors that should be as high as possible. And of course you can, when you have more pins, right now we only have 5, but if you have like, let's say 500, you can see the best ones, and you can create more content like the ones that are performing really well. Finally, we have the organic activity, and this shows us the activity that you are doing yourself. So it's not very interesting, but here we have a word cloud, which again is showing us suggestions that we can use to create more boards and more pins around. So that's really the most useful thing here. And yeah, that's basically all the insights within Tailwind. So as you can see, in Tailwind you really get to see percentage rates that are, and that way you can really fast see which pins are performing the best, which boards are performing the best, and it's really a very easy way to see what you should do and what you should not do to make sure that you're optimizing and you are basically getting the best data as possible to grow organically.